Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. A scrap metal company has had some of its shipments seized by the authorities. Our West reporter Christopher Chand was at a scrapyard in Lautoka as a shipment by Waste Recyclers Limited was being inspected by officials working for the Commissioner Western's office. The team, comprising of military officers, staff from Telecom Fiji and FEA, offloaded copper which they allege was stolen from public infrastructure.
This is Peter Bray, the managing director of Waste Recyclers. He tried to stop us from taking shots of an inspection being carried out by authorities.
Don't touch the camera. Excuse me. Are you threatening to punch me?
Later it was revealed that Telecom Fiji and FEA staff identified copper belonging to them in this container ready for export.
Of course you're going to take stuff, so they're going to be there.
While government is trying to build the infrastructure on one side, people are taking it down and selling it to scrap metal. So it's the question of we are trying to see whether supply and demand, question of supply and demand.
All scrap metal exports will now be given the same treatment. Reveal your stock before a green light is given for shipment.
Scrap metal dealers, they are exporters. So for every container that is exported overseas, during the loading we will inspect. If we don't inspect, then custom will not allow that container to go past custom and to go for export.
The new conditions set out for these dealers have already started showing us who the culprits are. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Peter Bray, the managing director for Waste Recyclers, refused our request for a camera interview yesterday, saying we had to leave and he would make a comment on another day. Lawyer Ratuchoni Manraiwiwi was given a 30-day contract for local expert opinion commencing on October 1st, 2012 by the Constitution Commission. Documents cited by FBC News reveal that the contract was signed by the chairperson of the Constitution Commission, Professor Yash Gai, on October 17th, and Ratuchoni signed it 3 days later. This was more than 2 weeks after Ratuchoni began work with the Commission and a week after he was a party to a submission by a delegation calling for the declaration of a Christian state in Fiji. Under the terms of reference, Ratuchoni was required to achieve 4 deliverables during that period. About a week after his contract ended, Ratuchoni tendered his resignation letter saying he was resigning from his position with immediate effect, according to a report in the Fiji Sun today. The Bao chief cited that in recent days, his involvement with the Constitution Commission has become an issue, thereby detracting from the objective of producing a new constitution. In a release issued later, Ratuchoni said his consultancy actually lapsed on October 31st, 2012, preempting any need for resignation. He also apologized for the oversight. In a letter to Ratuchoni dated October 30th, 2012, Gai expressed appreciation for his service in the Constitution Commission, saying Ratuchoni's contribution has assisted in the clarification of many issues of importance to the Commission. The Constitution Commission office today said Professor Gai would not be making any statements as the Commission is in meetings. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of a 1-year, 7-month-old infant who was found floating lifelessly in a bucket of water. Police say the baby was found by her sister, a Class 1 student. The police force is once again stressing the need for parents and guardians to keep a close eye on their children at all times.
Once again, stressing to the parents and guardians that to make sure that your home and surroundings are safe. You know, a bucket of water could pose to be safe for us adults, but for a child, that is a huge risk. And, you know, like we've mentioned over and over again, supervision and close monitoring is something that we just can't stress enough.
The drowning death toll stands at 57 compared to 30 for the same period last year. 3 inmates have been identified to be allegedly involved in the assault of another inmate at the Corvo Correction Center last weekend. The 3 are now in isolation at the Maximum Correction Facility in Namboro as police now focus on getting statements from corrections officers. They have also recorded the statement of the 24-year-old inmate who was allegedly sodomized. The victim is recovering in hospital. 4 students have been implicated in the alleged rape of a 20-year-old woman of Ba late last month. The youngest student is a 13-year-old, while the oldest student is 17 years old. The other two students are 14 and 16 years old, respectively. The 4 and 2 men allegedly raped the woman while she was returning home from a wedding reception. The 2 men appeared in the Tavua Magistrates Court yesterday. According to police, investigators are preparing separate files for the students and will have them sent to the officer in charge of the Juvenile Bureau for recommendation. The woman reported the matter last weekend, alleging the 6 men dragged her to a nearby bush and raped her. Tourism Fiji's new global advertising and marketing campaign has been unveiled before it will be launched to the world early next year. Minister for Tourism Ayaz Said Qayyum says the new campaign will help increase revenue from this critical industry. Christopher Chand reports.
This is Tourism Fiji's new logo, and this is now the new brand identity.
Is this really going to work? When you ask the minister, is happiness really going to resound and get people to buy tickets to come on airplanes to Fiji and to, buy rooms and resorts? The answer is yes.
Findings from a research last year pointed out that the old slogan, Fiji Me, was not giving the desired results and highlighted the need for a new marketing strategy, focusing on differentiating Fiji from all other destinations.
Essentially, what's going to be carried out in the future, how Tourism Fiji will position itself. The government is very much behind this reform. Unprecedented funding has been given to Tourism Fiji over the past 4 years, $23.5 million.
A number of companies have been identified to look after advertising, creating a new website, look after social media, public relations, and the Matai program for next year. Although Tourism Fiji did not reveal how much it has spent on this exercise, they say it's within the budget.
So we're working within the existing budget. We didn't have to go get extra money. And then what we'll do this year ahead of us will be, again, work within the existing budget. Won't be any additional money for this. So we'll essentially just more efficiently use the money. And now with world-class partners, make sure that we really do work to dial up the brand of Fiji even higher than it was before.
Hopes are the new changes taking shape within Tourism Fiji will propel Fiji to the top of tourist destinations around the world. Christopher Chand, FBC News.